The science of getting rich. Yes, there really is a science or formula to getting rich. And guess what? I know it. And guess what? I'm gonna share it with you because I think that you should have the life that you want. It is nowhere near as difficult as you think. And again, I'm gonna share everything, the truth with you here today. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, all you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm gonna share with you the biggest secret that my mentor taught me. I'm gonna share with you my best secret to speeding up the process of getting rich. And last but not least, I'm gonna give you a full step-by-step breakdown on how you can double your income in less than a year. So there are so many benefits to being rich. Obviously, so many of us have wanted to be rich. We imagine that we'll have all the money that we want. We imagine that we live in mansions, we'll fly around in private planes, and that will be an amazing life. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Being rich is really awesome. Again, I consider myself rich. I consider myself a rich person once I earned about $1 million per year. Now again, rich means different things for different people. There are people that earn $1 million a year and they spend $1 million a year. So is that person rich? There's people that make hundreds of millions of dollars per year and they would almost lose their minds or end their life if they only made $1 million in 1 year. So obviously being rich is different for different people. But for the sake of this video, the sake of this conversation, we're just gonna define rich as a minimum of earning $1 million per year, or again, $83,333.33 per month, every single month for 12 months. I use this as a goal because this was my goal. When I first said I wanted to be rich, I didn't even know what it meant to be rich. I said, okay, I wanna be rich. And then someone said, well, what does that mean? Then I said, I wanna be a millionaire. And they're like, well, what does that mean? And I actually had to look it up because there are 3 definitions to millionaire. You can be a millionaire by assets, meaning you add up all of your assets and all of your liabilities, and if you have more than $1 million in assets, then you are a millionaire, okay? So if you have 5 properties and they're worth $200,000 and you don't owe any money on them, you're a millionaire. You have $1 million in assets, okay? That's number 1. And that is actually the first way that I became a millionaire, was assets. The second way you can become a millionaire, of course, is have $1 million in cash, okay? Actually, that's probably number 1, but for most people, that's not really a great goal because once you have the money, then what? Or if you just have $1 million, are you just gonna keep spending it till it's all gone? So, obviously, if you have $1 million, you're a millionaire. So again, I have $1 million now. I can confidently say I'm a millionaire, and by that definition as well. But that was probably the hardest one to become a millionaire, was definition number 2. And definition number 3 to me is the absolute best definition for millionaire, and this is the one that I think we should all be striving to. And again, that is earning at least $1 million per year every year. So again, you can earn $1 million in January and not work the rest of the year. That's fine. Or you could be like most of us and you have a steady income of at least $83,000 coming in per month. And again, once you hit those numbers, it's very easy to then increase those numbers. So once you get to $83,000 a month, like I said, I think I skipped $83,000. I went from like $55,000 a month to $102,000 a month. Once you get to those type of numbers, you're able to do it over and over. But it is a hard climb getting to that first million, so let's talk about that. When it comes to the science of getting rich, the number 1 thing that you need to know is rich is a mindset. This is a mindset. So many times we start to try to create those tangible things, like get, $1 million worth of assets, or get $1 million in cash, or earn $1 million per year. But none of those outcomes will come if you don't start with your mindset. Rich is a mindset. Before you ever have the money in your bank account, you have to start behaving and thinking as a rich person. You really do. So like I said, when I was in my parents' basement, I started investing in real estate from the worst possible situation. I had lost everything and ended back up in my parents' basement in 2009. Literally had to start over, okay? I had no money. And so I'm investing in real estate, going to real estate seminars and conferences, and I literally had no money. I was a full-time student because my parents made me. But at the same time, I'm going to these meetings and these conferences and these seminars, and I'm acting as if. I'm acting as if I belong there. Not even that I have to, show up in a Rolls Royce and pretend to be a millionaire. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you act as if you're okay to be there, as if you're supposed to be there. Act as if you're invited. Don't be like, oh, well, they didn't invite me, so I can't be there. No, you can go, you can be there. Just because they did not send you an invitation to the party does not mean you can't go. And that is one of the things that I had to learn. It's all about your mindset. Being rich, there's lots of different personalities. I've met rich people that are very outgoing. I've met rich people that are total jerks and I wouldn't ever want to talk to again. I've met rich people that are shy and hardly speak to anyone and have weird personalities. That really doesn't matter. What they all share in common and what we all share in common is our mindset. Rich is a mindset. So as soon as you realize that, you are at the first step of becoming rich. Know that is simply a mindset. It is not a dollar in your bank account. Number 2, the science of getting rich requires you to be able to create your own income. So in other words, you really can't have a job or work different jobs to become rich. Yes, we all may start off with a job. Again, I'm not dissing jobs or saying that you can't have a job. I literally worked a job for many, many years and it provided for me and my family very well. However, if we are talking about being rich, being wealthy, owning your time, having the freedom to do what you want when you want, you can't have a job. So the science of rich requires you to start creating your own streams of income. You have to get into that. I know some of us have side hustles that we just take as side hustles as hobbies. We really start to have to manifest those things into real streams of income. This is the true science to becoming rich. You cannot dabble in something or think about something sometimes or work on something every now and then in order for it to manifest into millions of dollars. You have to focus on that thing. And so in order to focus on making more money, you have to focus on making more money, okay? You cannot just make more money without focusing on it. So step number 2 is that you have to create multiple streams of income. Know that you can create your own incomes. You do not have to rely on others for money. Whoa, this is an amazing video on the science of getting rich. I need you to go into the comment box and tell me some of the benefits that you want of being rich. Is it that you want unlimited income? Is it that you want to be able to travel all the time? Do you want to spend more time with your kids? What is it that you want to do with your life? Why is it that you want to be rich and why you want to get this science? Why do you want to learn? I need to know so I can see it, so I can comment, and so I can help you. Get to it, comment below right now. Last but not least, not only can you create one source of income, you can create multiple streams of income. The science of getting rich requires you to have multiple streams of income. This is, again, something my mentor taught me, and this was the first thing that they taught me. If you rely, even if you're like Michael Jordan and you are very good at playing basketball, if you simply rely on playing basketball in order to become rich, that is not the science. You are going to end up broke again. And you will notice, just like Michael Jordan using that example, he has multiple streams of income. And while he was playing basketball, he created multiple streams of income. He had different advertisers, different commercials, different sneakers, different products, different services. He became a business person. And every person that you know that is rich, they have multiple streams of income, okay? Even if they own Amazon, for example, or they own Tesla, you know what I mean? These great CEOs, they have multiple streams of income. They have it coming in from different streams. Even if it's from that same business, that business will have different products and services that brings them different sources. So the science of getting rich requires you to create multiple streams of income, and this is a requirement because you can. Most of us don't actually realize that we can create all of these different streams of income, that all of these streams of income can be unlimited. We don't realize this fact, so we don't actually do it. But Noelle is here to tell you that you can. This is what you should be doing. And so I encourage you and suggest to you, go forward, go create more streams of income, go create income for yourself. Yes, you can do it. You do not have to have any certain degree or special skill set or college or anything like that to create your own sources of income. I have created a complete training just for you, and you can get it absolutely free. Just go to noellsfreetraining.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreetraining.com. Again, I've created a complete training course for you that teaches you my exact formula for investing in real estate with little to no money, not using your credit, and again, make lots of money in real estate starting from where you are today. And again, it's absolutely free. Go check it out. I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.